I'll take the liberty of interpreting what the woman said, because she spoke in Yoruba and that's the language I'm privileged to understand. So she was actually talking about, she said the king actually told them to vote APC, vote APC, vote APC. For like, APC, APC, APC. Now they've done that and see the situation on ground. People have been dying. See, the Bororos are not allowing them rest. I don't know the categories of people that she categorized as Bororos. And she said they have not allowed them to have peace. They've been killing them in a state that used to be peaceful. Apparently she's talking to the governor of the state, because she kept addressing the person she's talking to as Your Excellency, Your Excellency, you know, expressing so much pain. You could see her actions, you could see the body language, you could see the way she was expressing herself, and everybody listening with rapt attention. They are literally mourning in that state at the moment. In fact, there are lots of people coming to talk about how peaceful Ekiti State has always been, but look at the turnout of events. Now, for this kind of situation, or in this kind of situation, where monarchs can be taken and killed, school pupils taken into custody, and now they are asking for 100 million naira ransom. Do you think that there was probably not some sort of a pre-intelligence report along that location? Because I know that in typical areas like that, there are usually some sort of, why are these strange people all around here? They are, you know, communities tend to know when strange people come around. They tend to know when things are not right, except maybe then they always say that the ant that eats the vegetable is right beneath the vegetable. Do you think that's the situation here?
Well, the reality is we left the actual line of our foreparents in terms of how we interact, in terms of how we organize our community engagements, because in the history have revealed very clear that we are drivers of the process in our community. So anything you see in any of the community, in African community rather, and specifically that of Ekiti and other Yoruba land, as well as the other Hausa, Igbo and the other all part of the country in Nigeria, and even before the arrival of the colonial administrators, we do normally own our intelligence.
Exactly.
We own our surveillance. I made a presentation of a paper in Ethiopia sometimes in 2021, where I challenged all the experts to kind of bring anything new that wasn't available in Africa before the emergence of the colonial administrators as far as intelligence and surveillance is concerned. Because whatever the Western world are doing in terms of specialization, I have attended so many courses at various levels, and I have attended so many lectures, and I have had so many interactions with so many scholars at various levels, and I have not seen anything new than what I have seen or than what I know from the originating period of which I was a teenager to the time when I was sent to school to the time when I became professional and expert on intelligence, security and investigation. All those processes and procedures are already inculcated already in our culture. So I wonder who are these Bororo that this woman is referring to? That is one. Two, what have the monarch been doing despite the fact that they have all intelligence gazettes and they have all the surveillance procedures? Because in all our environment we do have traditional, cultural, social and religious surveillance system.
Exactly my first question.
Yes, and at the same time, by having the modern system of the security and intelligence as well as the modern surveillance system that has been introduced to us, by having the policemen around, the civil defense, the immigration, as well as the Department of Security Services, who are the primary component of the modern security, intelligence and surveillance system that emerged much later, after thousands and 100 years that our parents have already have a layers of intelligence, surveillance, security and investigation procedures, which they have been utilizing in dealing with all challenges. So how comes that we have this Bororo, where do they come from? Who are they? There has been Fulani in Ekiti. There has been houses in Ekiti. There has been Igbo in Ekiti. There has been Ififio in Ekiti. I have been to almost all the local governments in Ekiti states. And I have been to almost all the political ones and many other communities. I know how the people interact. And I know how they identify somebody that came as a new person. And how they relate with. And how the monarch deal with issues when there is common conflicts. Not even common conflict, even before the conflict emerge, they already ascertain and kind of bring it to the decks, to the table, and they try to provide all the cautions. Not until in this situation where she's saying, you said we should vote this, vote this. So we are turning our kind of security challenges to very clearly it is becoming a politically motivated.
Okay, what do you think is actually being done wrongly here? Like, we're having a discussion before this segment about how monarchs were being referred in times past. You couldn't even think about it, you couldn't even conceive it in the first place, not to talk of even actualizing it at the long run. Now, I was looking at the translation of that woman, is it Guru she called, meant Fulani herdsmen. That's the translation they gave for that, that language she spoke there. So, what do you think is being done wrong? Do you think it should be ascribed to, like you've now pointed out, to the politics? Do you think it should be ascribed to politics, play of politics in this instance?
Well, the reality is, you know, our traditional leaders do have a responsibility and do have an authority and do have a kind of reputation and do have a kind of coordination, and this coordination mechanism remain on the surface. The authority remain on the surface. The responsibility remain on the surface, not really being aligned to administrative and legal terms. That is why we are creating gaps, and these gaps is creating threats to all of us. Why I said so? There used to be a monthly security review meeting under the monitoring and leadership of the monarchs in all the 773 local governments that we have in Nigeria. And these are information, surveillance reports, intelligence reports, security threats, review of the activity that happens in the last month and the preceding month. What are the issues and what are the way forward? The local government chairman used to be in attendance. The senior administrators, HOD, whatever, works, housing, social development, health, whatever, are expected to be in attendance. And the key religious leaders are expected to be in attendance. And all the heads of communities in that local government are expected to be in attendance. As well as both the police, the DSS, the immigration, and the civil defense. And federal safety where available, as well as the Nigerian Armed Forces, Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Air Force where available, in order to chip in. So if at all we are having this meeting on monthly basis, we will have been able to curtail. If at all we have provided in the Constitution, or we have in the Constitution, the authority and real responsibility on the monarchs.
Okay, I've heard Analyst.
So as I believe, like I said, there have been emergence of Fulani in the last 100 years in Ekiti and all parts of the country. There has been emergence of Yoruba in Kano, Sokoto, Borno, and wherever. There is still, despite Boko Haram challenges, there are Igbos with thousands and billions of investment still living there in Borno State and all other parts of the country. So why are we having this? It means there must be a kind of alignment, either political alignment or being mischiefs by some element within us. Because there is no way a new person will go to Ekiti and know the Ekiti community and be able to commit those offenses that we are recording. There must be an insider.
That was my initial question.
Yes, there must be an insider notes and there must be an insider collaboration, a collaboration and partnership, and it must have a it must, for this,
Political
it has to be, it must have a political alliance.
Okay.
Because no monarch will allow, or will participate, or will partner, or will collaborate, or will allow any of the community leaders under his watch to connive, or to collaborate, or to partner with anybody to come and kill his people.
Okay.
Nobody could do that.
All right. So if you think that it has some sort of in-house cooperation to make this kind of incident successful, let's talk about the calls for community policing. Do you think that there will be a successful, stemming and mitigation of this insecurity when we have this kind of cases on ground?
Let me tell you, there are 4 to 5 C's that must be in existence for us to be able to manage the security situation in Nigeria.
What are they?
Armed forces and other paramilitary can never be able to deal with, to manage the security challenges that we have. There are a number of generals that you have. There are a number of deputy commissioners, assistant commissioners, whatever position of all those in the wearing the uniform. How have they been firing? How have they been able to handle the issues of and challenges of the security that we have? Them alone cannot be able to manage it. These 3 C's, we must go back to make it community driven, community initiated, community driven, community owned, and community sustained. Until and unless we have change in the strategy, then we can be able to have the partnership and to fix the police service. Because the activities of the Nigerian police, most of the policemen in the service, I can bounce and tell you that more than 80% of them, they don't even understand what is their work. If you see the way they work, if you see the way they relate with the communities, if you see the relationship, the results and outcome and challenges that we have.
There are conversations that most of the people that are our uniformed men did not go into these professions because it is their passion. They went into it because there is high unemployment rate, and people just feel like, make I apply for this one. If I apply, I may get it, and I'll be sure of job security. So some persons just go into it because
that is a secondary factor.
So when that happens, if as per I came here to earn my daily living, I'm not coming to come and ask
that is even a secondary factor. Let me tell you the primary factor.
Please go ahead.
Why we are having these challenges, and we are having most of the policemen and most of the people in uniform don't even understand their roles and responsibility. It talk less of managing and handling what they could have handled in 6 months. All the security challenges in Nigeria are manageable, and they can be managed and handled and downsized by 70%, if not more than that, within 6 months. Why? Because the answer to your question is, in those who are applying for the job are not the people that we are employing for the job.
Indeed.
Because you have the list from the government house. Governor has his own list, sign and endorse. Commandant of AIG, DIG, emirate this, religious leader this, chef this, pastor this, and so on and so forth. So more than 35 years, we have corrupted the process of recruitment of both men and officers into the services. I want to tell you that all the security services. So until and unless we remove that and we recruit professionally and using the right merits, outline merit guidelines, that is the reason why we are having this problem. And that is not even the issue of unemployment, joining the service because of unemployment. That one is a secondary. The primary is everybody wants his son, his in-law, younger brother to his sister, to his girlfriend, and so on and so forth, to join the service because that is an opportunity. That is when you are having this officer's property. Do not touch. Military, police, this is a security, whatever. Why do you have to force and tell people that this is your own property? What does it make any? Does it make any sense? Are you different from me or from you? They are all human beings, and they should treat everybody with utmost respect. Not with the fact that you have the uniform. If you have the uniform, what is so special about it? Despite the fact that most of them don't even understand the job, don't even know the code and ethics and values of the job. They don't have passion for it. All the passion they have in most cases is they want to make money. They want to be rich. They want to kind of have, I have an employment and I wear uniform. I am carrying guns. So nobody, I'm above everybody. Well, that doesn't make any sense. So as far as I'm concerned, until and unless we go back to the right line, we go back to the where we were before, we go back to the foundation laid by our foreparents, where there is nothing like selfish. You are to be engaged and employed based on merit.
But let's also not forget, let's also not forget the poor enumeration outcry, and of course lack of tools to operate in the first instance. Do you think it's part of the reason?
Well, that is secondary. It is only when you have the right person, that is when you will talk about the tool.
But would you agree that, because you know why I'm saying this, sorry to cut you, because the Kadria family, when the man was narrating the ordeal that happened, he happened to explain that his brother, he called his brother to come around. So the brother was coming with some of the members of the police force, and they were coming to come and, you know, stop the, they thought it was robbery before they realized that they were kidnappers. So there was a shootout. The supposed kidnappers actually, their weapons outweighed that of the police officers. So they couldn't proceed. They had to stop.
If they are outweighed, so that is in Abuja. If they are out west, then they will have called for reinforcement. Oh, reinforcement. You have
the same question.
Let me tell you,
asking to have
you have Mopol 50 very close to where it happens. What are they doing? Why are they there?
But there are conversations that count the bullets that they give to them. So how are you supposed to face people that have countless of it?
Let me tell you, in a situation whereby you have Kamu Barrack, you have Niger Barrack, you have Abacha Barrack, you have defense headquarters, you have all the security heads around within the radius of less than 30 kilometers, and this happens, and you tell me that there is an excuse, and you tell me that you cannot provide an reinforcement, and you tell me that these guys went away with them successfully to where in Abuja? To where? Where are all the surveillance?
For 8 hours.
They work for 8 hours. So 8 hours to where? 8 hours through where? 8 hours for where? 8 hours how? These are common questions that even an ordinary person can ask. Where is Mopol 50 that is very close to the place? Where is all the barracks that we have? Where is the divisional police office that we have? Why the radio and other gadgets that the security are interacting with? What is the essence? Why do we have the Air Force base? Why do we have all the tactical operations? And why do we have the special forces? And why do we have the special team by DSS, by police, by Nigerian Army, and so on and so forth?
So you are saying we do not lack the manpower, however
of course, we have the manpower and we have the equipment, and it's only that we don't have the political will, because we have not been able to handle the situation accordingly in respect to the outline procedures of the professions, because we have not been able to sanction anybody that we have given responsibility. There was never anybody that was ever either dismissed, discharged, or relegated, or demoted. I challenge the Nigerian government and I challenge all the security agencies to provide evidence for anybody that have been given responsibility in managing the security as a unit head or as a divisional police officer. But people are being killed every now and then. How many people have you sanctioned? How many have you demoted? How many have you refused their promotions? How many have you that you have been promotion, and on what criteria are you promoting them? Is it not your money and my money and our money that they are using to be paid? So if you are not doing the job, why can't you leave?
Okay, before we go, Olamide, sorry. Now, there's been this call for convening of security summits. Do you think this will in any way solve the issue?
Well, the reality that will never solve the issue.
Okay, Mr. Getso.
That will never solve the issue. The issue is known. Our security architecture should be reorganized, reoriented, and be given responsibility, outline responsibility, and to be sanctioned if not delivered.
All right, Mr.
I have said time without number, all the criminals, all the bandits, whosoever is known. Their locations are known. You can pinpoint them. They are making all communications. If a handset of a minister or of an ordinary area council chairman in FCT will be stolen, within 24 hours it will be recovered.
Okay, Mr. Getso.
How are they, what strategy are they using to recover it? If one of the members of the state assembly in Niger State, somewhere or local government or thereby, was kidnapped in Tafa here, how many days has it been that they brought him back? What happens to the Chibok girls? What happens to the Federal Government College, Benin Yauri? Up till now, they have been there for how many years? What of the federal student that kidnapped a Federal Government University Gusau? What of the guys, the Kaderia family, that the government neglected its responsibility?
Okay, Mr. Getso, let me...
They were unable to, they were allowed the idiot coward to kill some of the children.
Let me quickly ask you this question in 1 minute. If you were the president of this country, how would you handle security in the shortest time possible?
I will give responsibility and authority to those professional by skills, and I will sanction them by not doing it. And at the same time, I will commend them and promote them based on performance. And I will ask you, as the Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, Chief of Defense Staff, sanction your GOC. GOC, sanction your brigades. Brigades, sanction your unit commanders. Police Commission, AIG, sanction your DIGs. DIGs, sanction your AIGs. AIGs, sanction your police commissioners. Police commissioners, sanction your area commanders. Area commanders, sanction your divisional police offices. And divisional police officers, sanction your outpost.
All right, thank
and
you.
I will hold any emir found accountable, have found issues of insecurity and inability to report issues accordingly.
It still boils down to accountability.
Of course, I will give responsibility and authority and charge you for not accounting for it and sanctioning you accordingly.
The President is hearing. Thank you very much for your time today. Yahuza, Getso, security and intelligence experts. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, viewers, that's where we draw the curtains on today's show. See you again tomorrow. I am Olamide Alhassan.
And I am Victoria Agbi. Bye for now.